Welcome back to our channel. In light of the recent conflicts in Israel, there has been a surge of questions and doubts regarding the identity of the Palestinians. We have received numerous comments inquiring about their origins based on biblical references. As part of our customary approach, we are introducing a new series called The Origins of Peoples According to the Bible. In this series, we will explore biblical references, as well as consider history, genetics, and linguistics. Given the current context of intense conflicts unfolding in Israel, many people are wondering about the true identity of the Palestinians and whether they are descendants of Ishmael. In response to these inquiries, we invite you to join us for another episode of our series, where we will examine the origins of the Palestinian people according to the Bible and other fields of study. Stay tuned for this special video dedicated to shedding light on the topic. In the book of Genesis 16:10-12, it is stated, "The angel of the Lord said to him, I will greatly multiply your descendants, who will not be numbered. However numerous they will be. The angel of the Lord also said to her, Behold, you have conceived and will give birth to a son, and you will call his name Ishmael because the Lord has heard your affliction. He will be like a wild ass. His hand will be against everyone, and everyone's hand against him, and he will live in hostility against all his brothers." These verses are often used to assert that contemporary Palestinians are direct descendants of Ishmael, the son of Abraham and brother of Isaac. This claim is frequently cited as one of the reasons for ongoing conflicts in the Gaza region of Israel. However, it is important to question whether this claim accurately reflects reality. The ethnic origin of the Palestinians is much more diverse than commonly perceived. In addition to their Arab roots and the predominant Islamic faith, many Palestinians have a significant genetic Jewish heritage. This ancestry dates back to ancient Jews who converted to Islam in the 6th and 7th centuries. The origins of the Palestinians as a national group residing in the southern land have been extensively studied. Considering linguistic and genetic aspects, it is crucial to note that the Palestinian population is not homogeneous, despite being predominantly Arab and Muslim. They encompass significant diversity in terms of religious practices, languages, cultures, and even ethnic groups. The demographic history of Palestine is complex, shaped by historical events, migrations, and influences from various imperial powers over the centuries. Wars, uprisings, and religious developments have also played significant roles in the demographic evolution of the region, influencing immigration, emigration, and conversions. With the Muslim conquest of the Levant in the 7th century, the region underwent processes of Arabization and Islamization. This was a result of local conversion, assimilation, and the Muslim presence in the region, leading to the formation of an Arab-Muslim population, albeit smaller in number compared to the region's population at the end of Antiquity. From the Middle Ages until the early 20th century, this Arab-Muslim population became the primary religious group in the region. In the region, numerous Palestinian villagers and notable families can trace their origins back to their clans known as Hamula. These clans were composed of Arab nomadic tribes from the Arabian Peninsula, who settled in the region either before or after the Islamic conquest. While most Palestinians have Arab and Islamic backgrounds, there are also a small number of families that maintain oral traditions linking them to Jewish and Samaritan roots. Efforts to construct a Palestinian national identity and consolidate national consciousness have played a significant role in the internal history of Palestine. These endeavors aim to establish the primary basis of identity as Palestinian, surpassing other prevalent identities such as clan, local tribal, and Islamic affiliations. When examining the complex demographic history of Palestine, it becomes evident that it has been shaped by various historical events and migrations over the centuries. In the Bronze Age, the region was primarily inhabited by Canaanites, who spoke the Phoenician language. In the early Iron Age, The Israelites emerged as a distinct ethnic and religious group with Semitic roots, founding the kingdoms of Israel and Judah. Following the fall of these kingdoms to the Assyrians and Babylonians, many Jews experienced forced exile to the east. Eventually, the region came under the dominion of the Achaemenid and Seleucid empires during classical antiquity. Jews became the majority population in Palestine, enjoying a brief period of independence under the Hasmonean dynasty. However, the region later fell under Roman rule, and the Jewish-Roman wars resulted in the death, displacement, and enslavement of many Jews, leading to a significant decline in the Jewish population. The subsequent centuries in the region were marked by political and economic turmoil, conversions to Christianity, and religious persecution of minorities. Under Byzantine rule, a Christian majority formed due to Christian immigration and the departure of Jews. This era witnessed conflicts such as Samaritan uprisings and the conversion of the local population. In the 7th century, Arabs who had adopted Islam conquered the Levant, and various Arabic-speaking Muslim dynasties ruled the region over the following centuries, including the Umayyads, Abbasids, and Fatimids. The population of Palestine decreased significantly during this time, with many conversions to Islam and the adoption of Arab culture and language. It's worth noting that a significant portion of the population in the Nablus area of Palestine is descended from Samaritans who converted to Islam, as Samaritans themselves had Israelite and Assyrian origins. The exact timing of the mass Islamization process in Palestine, whether before or after the Crusades, remains uncertain. Some scholars argue that Palestine was already predominantly Muslim when the Crusaders arrived, while others suggest that the process occurred later, possibly during the Mamluk period. The Mamluks were a dynasty of military leaders who ruled various regions of the Islamic world from the 13th to the 19th centuries. They were originally slave soldiers who gained power and established their own government in Egypt, known as the Mamluk Sultanate. Palestine's demographic composition has been shaped by waves of migration, including Egyptians during the reigns of Muhammad Ali and Ibrahim Pasha, as well as Algerians after the Abu Qaid uprising in the 18th and 19th centuries. In the second half of the 19th century, there were further migrations of various peoples to Palestine, including Slavic Bosnians and Circassians. Under Ottoman rule, the population of Palestine decreased and remained between 150,000 and 250,000 people for several centuries. While Palestinian culture is predominantly Arab and Islamic today, many Palestinians also identify with the civilizations that have inhabited the land throughout history. During Ottoman times, Palestinians considered themselves descendants not only of the 7th century Arab conquerors but also of the indigenous people who had lived in the country since ancient times. According to a study conducted by Palestinian anthropologists, the Palestine region has been settled by a diverse array of peoples throughout history, all of whom considered it their homeland. Initially, the Canaanites were followed by the Philistines, and later the Israelites, Hebrews, and Arabs who descended from Esau, the brother of Jacob. The descendants of Ishmael, particularly the Nouns, also contributed to the Arab tribal heritage. Additionally, the Aramin, who are descendants of Aram, and other Semitic groups such as Romans and Arabs descended from Midian, further enriched the cultural and ethnic heritage of Palestine over the centuries. Contrary to the claims made by some internet theorists, Palestinians today have a diverse heritage that encompasses Jewish, Edomite, Aramin, Canaanite, and Philistine traits. These various groups have intermixed over time, resulting in the Palestinian people predominantly having Semitic origins in terms of appearance and genetics. Both Palestinian Arabs and Jews share Semitic ancestry, as supported by genetic studies. Recent genetic research has shown that Jews and Palestinians are genetically closer to each other than Jews from other countries. Paternal lineage studies have indicated a notable similarity in the distribution of the Y chromosome between Arabs and Jews. A study titled The Genomic Structure of the Jewish People, conducted in 2010, revealed that genetically tested Palestinians clustered close to Jordanian Bedouins and Saudi Arabs, suggesting a shared origin in the Arabian Peninsula. Another study led by Harry Oster and others found genetic similarities between Palestinians, Bedouins, Jews, and some Jewish groups from Southern Europe, who are the closest genetic neighbors to Jewish populations. It is important to note that some Jewish populations sharing genetic similarities with European peoples can be attributed to historical mixing between Jews and European ethnic groups, such as Ashkenazi Jews having European descendants like Germans, among others. Genetic studies continue to support the notion that Arabs and Jews are not distant peoples but rather related. A DNA study conducted by Nebel found significant genetic overlap between Arabs, Israeli Jews, and Palestinians. Nebel proposed that a portion, or perhaps the majority, of Muslim Palestinians descend from local inhabitants, primarily Jews who converted after the Islamic conquest in the 7th century AD. Thus, today's Palestinians have diverse ancestry, including Jews, Aramean, Ishmaelites from the Nebet tribe descended from Esau, as well as Canaanites and Philistines. This genetic diversity reflects the complex history of the region. It is worth mentioning that many people have raised questions about events in the Middle East and biblical prophecies, particularly those related to Gog and Magog. In an upcoming video, these recent events will be explored, and the discussion will delve into whether Gog and Magog are approaching. The viewers are invited to subscribe to the channel and enable notifications to stay updated with the upcoming videos.